The second big problem is, what does success mean? Well, this one is, what is your worth? What are you worth? Nowadays, our children are being raised to think all they are worth is these products. The brand of clothes, the kind of house, the kind of car your parents drive, drop you off to school at, the brand of the book bag you're wearing, you know, that sort of thing. That's all you're worth. And then on top of that, the additional problem is, what does it mean to be successful? Our idea of success even 20, 30, 40 years ago was, for the vast majority of the Muslim world, maybe some of you did not have a good opportunity for education, or your parents did not have a good opportunity for education, and they put all of their effort in getting you a good education. Our idea of education has become a career that makes a lot of money. Everything comes back to money. If you're successful, it means you have a lot of money. If you're successful, it means you have an education. Education in what field? A field that will give you a good career, which means you will have good money. That's what success is now. Everything comes back to this. That's it. Now, this is different from old times. This is different from old times. In old times, to have an education means to understand yourself, to understand the world around you, and to contribute to making the world a better place. Most of our problems in the Muslim community are because we are disconnected from the Quran. We don't feel for it, we don't feel a love for it, we don't have a relationship with it, we don't go to it for advice, we don't recite it every day, we don't care to memorize it, we don't care to learn more and more of it, we haven't shown it enough love. This word Allah gave, honored this ummah with, and we haven't given it enough love. If we did, I tell you, our problems would start disappearing. Have an honest, open, direct conversation with your children. Ask them about what they heard in school, what problems they have, and then you yourself seek the answers from Allah's book. You say, you know the thing your friend just told you, or this terrible thing you saw, you know what Allah says about that? Let me show you. We're literally teaching our children how to go to Allah for answers. Now let's talk a little bit about raising our children. First of all, our mentality has to change. If they don't see in us the right definition of success, if they don't see that in our personality, our conversations, we cannot expect them to have the right definition of success for their life. They have to see that coming from us, in what we talk about all the time, in what is important to us most of the time. When husband and wife are talking to each other, are children listening or no? Always. Always. Their ears are always on. Now if you two are talking about the bills, and you're talking about paying off the house, or you're only talking about movies, or you're only talking bad about this other family and what they did, or whatever you're talking about, they will come to know these are the things that adults, this is what my parents do. This is what's important in life. You and I have to learn Quran as parents, not for our children, for ourselves. We have to learn Quran, we have to love it so much that our children, as they're raised, they know, my dad, somebody asks, what does your dad like to do? They say that he loves to learn the Quran. He's always talking about the Quran. I learned everything I know about the Quran, most of it I came from my dad. He's always listening to an explanation of it. He's always telling me to recite more. He's always memorizing it. He loves the recitation of it, all this stuff. We have to become a nation of Quran. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ was surrounded by people who doubted, just like we are surrounded by people who doubt. And the only thing that gave him belief was what? Quran, the word of Allah. It kept him strong. We have to become that nation again. Us and our children. We have to become the generation of the Quran. Recite Quran with your children. Don't hire a qari to recite Quran. Recite Quran with your children. Maulana Sahib comes, reads Quran and goes home. What about you? What about you? You don't have time? If you don't have time for Quran, why does your child have to have time for Quran? Sit down with your child, make those 20 minutes happen. Shaitan will come, he will make you yawn, he will make you thirsty, he will make you sleepy, he will make you remember you had a meeting. All of that will happen in those 20 minutes. Why? Because you gave those 20 minutes to Quran. He hates that. He can't stand it. But make those 20 minutes happen.